how they almost blew it, or do we just grade on a curve and be happy? I think we both know the answer. No, I literally don't. Let's go! Do you have a humiliation kit? This is all I ask you to do. I'm having a great finger flick. You're allowed to show up. This team is ruining my life. I'm taking crazy pills. With you, wherever you are, welcome to LFR. I was serious. What are we talking about? Victory, Puppy Ziggy! Is there anything better than beating the Jets? No, that's getting old. It's getting overdone. Wait, is it getting overdone, or do the Leafs just keep beating them? I need you to answer this. Steve, how are you even going to be cocky about this one? They almost blew it. So did the Bruins. Nobody remembers who almost blew it. They only remember if you blow it. You know who almost blew it? The Panthers. Oh, yeah. And you know what it says on the Stanley Cup? It's not Florida Panthers, but it almost wasn't. It's the Florida Panthers. So I am choosing to be happy. Here's me being happy. Let's see if I even remember how to do this. Leafs win! What was the final score? 6-4! 6-4 over the Winnipeg Jets. Now, I thought this was true. I wondered if it was true, perhaps even allowed. But then I saw it picking up traction on Twitter. The Leafs have not lost to the Winnipeg Jets since Mark Scheifele said, "Is there anything better than beating the Leafs?" I don't think that's a fan-driven thing at all. I 100% believe that got in the Leafs' kitchen, and it's why they play so hard against the Jets. That, and it's one of the only rivalries that the Canadian division actually created, and they hated each other, and they still do. But do you know how much you must have pissed the Leafs off? They've won, what is it, 6 in a row against the Jets now? This is a team whose identity is having difficulty winning 4 out of 7 games in any given spring. You know how much they gotta hate you to win 6 in a row against you? To go years on end without losing to you? And you know what? That's the overarching theme of the Leafs-Jets sort of rivalry. It's not even sort of, it's just a straight up rivalry. But the context of this game mattered. And to me, it's just proof that the Leafs are the weirdest team in, at very minimum, hockey. They gotta be top 5 in North American sports. Name 4 that are weirder. Weird in that they are great. They smashed the Tampa Bay Lightning on Amazon. And how'd it go since? Well, they haven't won since the last game on Amazon. Horrible against the Blue Jackets. Well, maybe it's just a horrible against the Blues in Berube's Blues return, sort of. And then the Bruins, you have a shot at redemption and you flub it. So a Leafs team absolutely reeling. They can't do anything right. They can't close out a game. They can't start a game. They can't do anything. And they are taking on the 8-0, undefeated, best team in the league, Winnipeg Jets. And all of us looked at that on the schedule and thought the exact same thing. The Leafs are winning that game. Leaf fans are not as cocky as a lot of people think. We are very defeatist and self-deprecating, because you kind of have to. You can't survive being a fan of this team without having a good sense of humor. So it is rare when the Leafs can look at their opponent on the schedule and go, oh, you're dead. One of the worst teams on paper in the last decade in the Columbus Blue Jackets? Nah. The St. Louis Blues without one of their top offensive producers? Nah. The Boston Bruins, who also kind of stink to start this season? Meh. A team that has won 8 straight games with one of the best goalies in the world and a touch of death on the power play. You're done. And I guess the question is, how did they do it? The focus is going to be on the negative, and it's worth noting, because that's the mood right now. Let's focus on the positive, because they won, they got 2 points. How did they get them? You're not going to believe this. It's very scientific. It's a little boring, but they went to the net! You want to see? Okay, about halfway through the period, Jake McCabe and Chris Tanev working it back and forth at the point. That's fun. All the while, there's stuff in front of the net going on. And this is very important context, because we got into a little bit of an argument after the Leafs loss to the Rangers. What happened in that Leafs loss to the Rangers? You know what? This game could have ended up a lot like that one, because the Leafs got a lot of shots on goal in this one, just like they did against the Rangers. They're playing one of the best goalies in the world, just like the Rangers. And they're playing one of the best teams in the league. I think the Rangers might have even been undefeated in regulation when the Leafs lost to them. And the Rangers. So when the Leafs got their bunch of shots against the Rangers and Igor Shesterkin, a lot of people went, hot goalie. Meanwhile, the coach is like, well, yeah, but we made his job too easy. So what do you do on a Monday night when you have Connor Hellebuck staring you down from the other end of the ice? You get in his kitchen like ants! Anyway, Jake McCabe and Chris Tanev working it back and forth at the point. Jake McCabe, who just signed an extension, did a video on my channel earlier today. You can check that out after this one. I'm not done talking. McCabe puts it on. Pacioretty, who's at the side of the net, and he's right there, and I love that about him in this one. He like kind of pool cues it, like one hands it, and it goes off a skate, and it might have been going in anyway, and Tavares might have robbed him of the goal, but who cares? Tavares puts it in, and it's 1-0 Leafs. Pacioretty needed that, his first assist of the season. Didn't know that, and it wouldn't be his last. John Tavares, his third goal. Oh, did he need that? Dude, the whole line needed that. When I saw that get put together, Pacioretty, Tavares, Nylander, those are three guys who are kind of struggling right now. Pacioretty played fewer than 10 minutes last game. Berube loads them up, and they were chaos in front of the net all night, 1-0. Goal number 2, much later in the first period. William Nylander, he's in front and he's all alone. Is that great defense from the Winnipeg Jets? Nah. Is it a great pass from Max Pacioretty? Yeah. Where's Max? Right by the net! And where's Willie? Standing right in front of the thing! Listen, Connor Hellebuyck is one of the best in the world. You know what? So was Willie. You don't want to face that shot point blank from that distance. It's going in. 2-0 after 1. The Leafs are running them over, and it only gets worse for the Jets for a while. On this one, low-key, very low-key. If you're a goaltender, tend the goal. But it's not like a scream, it's more of a calm suggestion. Like, Connor Hellebuyck is just sort of casually handling the puck, having a good time, but, like, not everyone on the Leafs is at the same skill level they were last year. Matthew Knies, like, there's an obvious jump there, and he just flies into the back of the net like a faster meter! Because he did, and he creates havoc. And he tries, and it doesn't work, and Marner tries, and it doesn't work, and Matthews tries, and it doesn't work, and Knies gets it back, and it works! You know why? Ah! Look at this! It's anarchy in front of there! I don't care if you tie Dominic Hasek to Patrick Waugh, you give them enough opportunities like that, they're scoring! And that's less than a minute in, and it gets even better! The Leafs are out shooting the Winnipeg Jets 23-8 at this point, and this one, it's not so much chaos in front, it's pressure down low, more like that. Pacioretty, he's still involved, to William Nylander, cheeky behind the back, finds the widest open Morgan Rielly, who pings the thing off the bar. Ugh. Gross and nasty. 24-8 are the shots. 4-0 is the score, and is there anything better than, oh, there's so much time left. Listen, did the Leafs soften up after this? Yes. Did they take too many penalties after this? Yes. Did they almost blow it? Yes. But the reason they were able to play so not great for the rest of the game is because they went up 4-0 on these guys. They ran them over, and how did they do it? A lot of it was chaos in front. Connor Hellebuyck's one of the greatest goalies in the world. Cool, that's great. Here's a big ol' ass in your face. Like you. Hey, yeah, you. What's the thing you're best at? Best at in this whole world. I'm not even necessarily talking about your job. Just what are you best at, right? Don't think about it too hard, right? Okay. Now, imagine trying to do it at the top of your ability with a giant ass in your face. For the vast majority of hobbies and occupations, it would become cumbersome, to say the least. Now, maybe it's just the Rangers did a better job of clearing the front of the net than the Jets did. The Jets were definitely not strong in that area tonight. But man, that second line that I was not high on when I saw it on paper, it's like it was handcrafted by Craig Berube to succeed in this specific situation against this specific team. It's so good. It's one of the best things he's done as coach so far. Not to mention, it got 3 guys going who have not necessarily had bad seasons to this point, but they've definitely had a bad past 3 games. Even if they're putting up points, it's flubbing plays, it's losing puck battles, it's falling and doing the weird splits like Willie. Patches was fired up. 3 assists in this one. Willie, snipe. Tavares, hat trick. Now, is that how it all ended? Well, if only it were that simple. Some Leaf fans were mad because in the second and third period, the combined penalties were the Jets got 4 power plays, the Leafs got 0. In fairness, most Leaf fans I saw were saying, like, the Jets did nothing against the rules for 2 full periods, and they might have a point. But the 4 penalties the Leafs took, Cross-checking on Pontus Holmberg. It was very much cross-checking. Go to the box. Kyle Connor on the power play, as he often does. Blam! It's 4-1. Wouldn't it be amazing to have a functional power play? Nick Robertson sitting in the press box like I'm getting sat for that. Yeah, you are. Oliver Ekman-Larsson boarding against Vlad Namestnikov. This was the one of the four I was like, really? You got a boarding minor for this? I'm sure George Peros is going to find a way to give him a fine or a one-game suspension. And maybe this is my Leaf bias showing, but I don't know. Maybe don't skate backwards into a defender. What are you doing? And the Riley puck over the glass is Riley puck over the glass. Riley, let's use this very bizarre moment. He's been wonderful. I just feel like he hasn't been able to, he's an offensive defenseman. I feel like we all forgot about that. I kind of feel like he forgot about that. But on any given night, he's either playing with Chris Tanev or a rejuvenated Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and it rules. So this one was a rare misstep at this point in the season, 10 games in. Naturally, on the power play, Kyle Connor, blam, it's 4-2, and we're all like, oh, we're in for it, boys. Before the end of the second, oh man, we gotta get one back. We gotta get one back to let him know who's in charge. What should we do? Does anyone have any ideas? Hey guys, it's me again, John Tavares, the captain. Oh, hey guys, it's me again, John Tavares. I'm now an assistant captain or an alternate captain or an associate captain with the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm not sure we ever really figured that out, but I handed it over. Sorry about that. So Craig and I were talking, well, it was more of a team discussion. We were talking about how to score more goals. And he said something like, go to the net. Then I was like, hey, Craig, maybe, switch to decaf. But enough clowning around. I said, hey, boys, we should probably follow Craig's advice because he's the coach. And that's his job. And so I did that. I went to the net. I scored to make it 5-2. And that was good. It was good that we did that. I hope you like that because I'm going to be covered in glitter for at least 3 or 4 days, and now the Leafs are up 5-2 thanks to John Tavares. Now, was there a riveting speech about defense and sticking to the tactics and playing right and playing hard and playing honest? Yeah, there probably was. The team's just not all that good at it. And full credit to the Winnipeg Jets. They're 8-0 for a reason, and I don't think it's a fluke. Their core, like the Leafs core, has played together a ridiculous amount of time. They are ridiculous offensive killers, and they just know where each other are. The third goal is Josh Morrissey, crazy offensive player, to Kyle Connor, crazy offensive player, for the one-timer from Mark Scheifele, unreal offensive player, bang, 5-3. Now, this is embarrassing because I am just finding this out in real time. Everyone littered the ice with hats when it was 5-4 because they thought Kyle Connor got the hat trick. I did too, but apparently it went to Gabe Vilardi. You lost the game and your hat! Good! Oh, I hope your head is moderately chilly today. But how are the Jets getting this done? I mean, there's more ways to do it than go to the net. Elite passing, elite finishing. Go to the net! It's still part of it. Stolarz is playing great. What do? Screens. The Jets are such a funny team. It feels like on any given night they can play great D or great offense, but rarely both at the same time. But when their offense is clicking, it's one of the best in the league. Forget game in and game out. If we're talking top tier, your offense, a team's offense is clicking at its absolute best, Winnipeg's might be top 5. Game in and game out, no. When they're clicking, there's fewer teams better. Connor, killer. Morrissey, killer. Scheifele, killer. They have so many guys. And their power play is great. And they're about to get the extra attacker out. Except, it wasn't until, what was it? 40 seconds left? The Leafs did an excellent job of, ironically, keeping Hellebuck in his net. Because hockey's ridiculous. No, hey! One of the best goalies in the world! Stay in your net! Alright, boys, we gotta put all of our effort into keeping one of the best goalies in the world in his net. And then, from center ice, a heaving backhand. Ooh, I don't know about that. That's probably gonna be icing. And hey, it went in! Hey, it's John! That'll cure what ails you, buddy. A hat trick for John Tavares, who was incredible. Incredible this whole game. Pacioretty was incredible. Nylander was incredible. That whole second line, revelation from Craig Berube. Great job. And they won him the game. Tavares and Pacioretty, both +3. Riley and Ekman-Larsson, both +3. Nylander, Matthews, Marner, all +2. Not a single Leaf was a dash in this one. It's a great way to be. And the losing streak is over. questions. Is there anything better than beating the Jets? Yeah, there's like a bunch. There's still a bunch. That's usually my answer. But I'm not gonna lie, this is climbing. It's climbing. I do enjoy it a lot. I would tell you beating the Bruins, but I have no idea if it's true or false. We all knew this was happening, right? Yes, I kind of half wonder if the Jets did too. Like, the Leafs were doing all the right things, but like, the Jets are allowed to play too. It's the only explanation for how this game started. Everyone in the hockey world knew, oh, after those 3 losses, Jets are undefeated. The Leafs are going to be the team to beat them. It's dumb. It's dumb. Leafiest win in the leafiest way possible? Nah, they could have made it leafier. You know that. There wasn't enough former Leaf action in there. Not enough, like, I don't know, big giveaway scoring on yourself. Leafs are about to score in an empty net, but like a cat jumps onto the ice and takes the puck, and then Morrissey picks it up and goes the other way on the counterattack. It could have been leafier. Do you think Jets fans should call in 6-4 work tomorrow? Yes, you should. Because we're coming up on year end and you should use your sick days if they don't roll over. I love the belt pick from the Leafs. Max Domi having a great time with John Tavares. Anything better than a new belt pick? Yeah, no, yeah, admin has to get in on the bit. I love it. And worth noting, because yes, he did get a hat trick in this one, but I've been hammering him recently because the Leafs straight up need John Tavares to be better. Way better. From Kevin Papetti, the Leafs are up 9-2 during Tavares' 5-on-5 minutes this season. That's even crazier when you realize we're only 10 games into the season. That means Tavares at 5-on-5 is good for a goal for nearly every single game, and they're only giving up an even strength goal every 5. There are a lot of things about his game that have been visually nasty this season, for sure. That, and he's been a big part of the power play that was broken up today, and it did nothing. It hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows, but if that keeps up, I think they'll be okay. I think he'll be okay. For now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Is there anything better than an LFR after a win? Don't say after a lot. That's mean. I thought we were friends.